Hi everyone, I'm Noelle and this is Pintober Day 6. Welcome to Crunchy Mondays! Here on Crunchy Mondays I'll be doing a DIY project that's on the little more natural side. Today's pin is homemade hand sanitizer that is non-toxic and moisturizing. It's found on the blog DIYnatural.com. In the past, I've made my own hand sanitizer using various natural ingredients, with the main essential oil being thieves oil, which is made by Young Living Essential Oils. And I highly recommend making and using that thieves oil hand sanitizer. However, it is not recommended that you use thieves oil when you're pregnant, when you're breastfeeding, or around young children. So until your kids are a little bit older, or if you're using it away from your kids, definitely you need an alternative. So I'm thinking about what kind of a natural alternative can I have that still has good, strong antibacterial properties, but without being dangerous to my kids. So I found this pin on DIYnatural.com, and her recipe is actually really big. It makes like over 8 ounces of this hand sanitizer. So I'm actually going to be cutting it in half, and this is the first time I've ever made it, so we'll see if I like it or not. But I really did like it because the main ingredients are the lavender essential oil and tea tree or melaleuca essential oil, and those are both safe for both pregnancy, breastfeeding, and for young children. So this was super exciting for me to find, and I'm really excited to try this recipe. Because I'm only making half recipe, I'm just going to use this small mason jar to make it in and to hold any extras, depending on what container I want to carry it around in. First, we're going to take our essential oils and put them in. So I have my lavender essential oil. Her original recipe says 5 to 10 drops, so I'm going to use 5 drops because I'm having the recipe. This is lavender angustifolia. It's the true lavender essential oil, and both the oils that I'm using today I got off of mountainroseherbs.com. However, I actually am just starting to use Young Living essential oils, and I do highly recommend those because they are a higher grade, a little bit more safer. Some of them are even safe to ingest, so I definitely recommend those. These are a little bit more cheaper, not quite as good quality oils, but they do work, so that's what I'm using right now. And then her recipe calls for 30 drops of tea tree, so I'm going to use 15 drops of tea tree. After you put your 2 essential oils in your jar, you're going to add vitamin E oil. I just got mine at Trader Joe's, and I'm sure just from looking at the ingredients there are probably definitely better quality ones out there, but I've had this for a while, so I'm using this. And it calls for 1/4 of a teaspoon, so I'm just going to put in 1/8, maybe a little bit more toward 1/4, just to be sure. There we go. Vitamin E oil is the preservative that allows it to last several months, so it's a pretty important ingredient. So once our vitamin E oil and our essential oils are in there, we're just going to swirl it up a little bit, mix them together. Okay. And then the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of witch hazel extract. I get this at Mountain Rose Herbs because it does have certified organic ingredients. You can get witch hazel at any drugstore or Whole Foods, but try to find one that's either certified organic or has at least more natural ingredients other than just your standard drugstore variety. You have to remember that this is going on your skin. This is something you're almost ingesting through your body. So you really want to be careful about what the ingredients are. So because she calls for 1 tablespoon, I'm going to use 1½ teaspoons. Alright, there's my 1½ teaspoons of witch hazel. You can also use high proof vodka. I much prefer to stick with witch hazel. And we will swirl those in again. Okay. And next we're going to get our aloe vera gel. Again, I get my aloe vera gel from Mountain Rose Herbs. Many different places you can get it, but I feel like theirs is a little bit more natural. Her recipe, as I said, calls for 8 ounces of it. I am halving that, so I'm just going to go 4 ounces on my measuring cup here. We're going to mix those two together. Put the lid on and mix well. Make sure your lid is tight. And then her instructions say to kind of shake the mixture up gently before you use it because some ingredients might settle. Now in her blog, she says that she just uses an old container that held hand sanitizer, so a plastic one. I would caution the use of plastic because essential oils can start eating away at the plastic. So glass is best. So if you have, you know, a glass jar, this is a 4 ounce, a 2 ounce, you could do 1 ounce. I have not tested it. You know, depending on the thickness, you could use a spray bottle if it would spray out and not get too clogged up. If you really do want a squirt bottle, instead of using a plastic bottle, I would highly recommend using a silicone. These are Human Gear Go tubes. I get them off of Amazon. I've also seen them at Target and Bed Bath & Beyond and places like that. This is a 3 fluid ounce. This is a 1 ounce. They also have a medium size. It's a 2 ounce, I believe. Or this is 1.25 fluid ounces. In the past, when I made my thieves, I used this one. And for the couple of days to a week, it was fine. And then after that, it kind of started smelling funky. I think it was the aloe vera gel and possibly the essential oils. I don't know. So I am probably going to test it out in the silicone tube and keep some in glass and compare my experience because I'm not sure which one is going to last better. I don't mind carrying around either a 1 or 2 fluid ounce glass bottle in my purse, but these are a little bit nicer, especially if you're putting in like a diaper bag or things like that. So I'm going to test it out in a couple different ways, but I'm just going to store it in a glass container just to keep it preserved even longer. So that is homemade hand sanitizer. Let's smell it. I can smell the tea tree. It definitely has kind of a, if you've ever felt aloe vera gel, it's kind of slimy, sticky almost, but it's pretty smooth. I think it is the aloe vera gel that I'm smelling. It kind of has a funny smell. I think that you probably could add more essential oils. The thing I liked about the Thieves one was that it smelled like Christmas, because the Thieves has cinnamon bark and things like that in it that are really strong and fragrant, whereas lavender and tea tree are not super strong. But it dries really quickly. My hands don't feel sticky or anything after it dries. And the smell kind of goes away. I think it's the initial smell of the aloe vera until it kind of evaporates that kind of smells funky. Yeah, so now I can't even smell anything on my hands. So that is my pen of healthy homemade hand sanitizer. Check out her blog down below for the original recipe and to pin it yourself. And thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. With my full-time job, I knew there were all